Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cybersecurity Awareness TV. I am your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You're here today, June 10th, 2026, and I am honored to have the privilege to talk to Deval Clay, one of my partners here with a company called PV, Positive Vibes, Positive Cyber Vibes. And we're going to talk about today's episode about children and the internet and how our children are being victimized by things that are going on online. Deval, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mac. Glad to be here.
Yes, this week. So I wanted to have you on and talk about some of the things that we're working on when it comes to children online on the internet. There's a lot of different issues that are going on right now with kids that are exposed to all kinds of predators that are online. And basically, children are, they don't know, or literally ignorant of what's going on, how dangerous it is online. And criminals know that, so they're going after the low-hanging fruit, and they'll go after the children to get to the parents, and so they'll terrorize the kids. So some of the things that I want to talk to you about is, what is your experience in that? Let's take a look at the problem, then we'll offer some solutions for it.
Yeah, man, I think this is a big concern. I think this is a big problem, because I don't think that people really realize how, when you look at adults and the youth has more access to them than the adult does, right? Because when you start talking about predators online, they can get to a kid really easy, because why? A lot of kids are on social media. A lot of kids are playing Roblox on games. Not only that, kids use their phones in school. So guess what? Predators are getting through schools, through teachers, to get to the students, right? So there is a urgency that I think we need to try to focus on to help not only the students, teachers, and families on how to protect the youth. Because think about it, think of it this way. The kid is connected to his parents. And how many times have you and I been on a delivery of social on cybersecurity? And I always ask the question, hey, raise your hand if you're up to speed or if you're comfortable with cybersecurity, and no one raises their hand.
Right.
Well, when they don't raise their hand, you know what they're in essence saying? Hey, I don't know anything about how to protect myself, my family, my home, or anything. So guess what? Your kid is nothing more than an extension to you. And if you don't know how to protect yourself, your kids can be a target through you, as they are a target through social media, again, through the school systems. So kids are very vulnerable in a sense, right? And we can really dive into the social engineering and the neuro-linguistics programming and hacking of a kid just by pretending to be someone of an authority figure to them to get in. So yeah, I think that's a big gap that we have to fix.
Absolutely. And let's briefly, Deval, tell the audience a little bit about your background. You mentioned neurolinguistics. I love that. I've worked with you with that on deliveries in the past. Let our audience know about that, a little bit about your background as well.
So I spent 22 years as a naval cryptologist in the Navy. And as a cryptologist in the Navy, operationally, you pretty much owned and operated by NSA, National Security Agency. And I was a CNA guy, which is computer network attack. I did a little CND, but mostly CNA stuff and social engineering. So that's nothing more than hacking computers with CNA. Social engineering is hacking the minds and the people connected to the network, which is a lot easier than trying to hack a computer hardware to hardware, from my computer to your computer, Mac. So if I can try to hack your brain and your mind to, get me into the network, it's just a lot easier. Literally, so, a lot of times it only takes like maybe a minute or 2 minutes with the use of social engineering. And this is doing it on adults. Now, mind you, if we start social engineering kids,
absolutely,
that's easy.
Yes, absolutely. And I appreciate that, Deval. And I think that's good to the audience to know that you and I spent time, almost 3 years, working deliveries together. Myself being a doctor in cybersecurity myself and working with you on this linguistics, you're right. Social engineering is definitely the vessel that scammers and criminals are using to get to us, and us meaning the human factor.
Hmm.
Now, the best hardware and software imaginable out there within an organization, but all it takes is the human person to click on one button, and the whole house of cards fall can come crumbling.
Oh yeah, and we have all of these new technologies for the human, which
Hmm.
is, and you do an excellent job talking about AI. AI is a tool to enhance the human, right?
Hmm.
And now attackers are taking that AI and really enhancing it through social engineering to attack at a high speed, like at a high level,
Yes.
using AI. And now, I have to give a presentation on Tuesday at the TIVA conference, which is here in Texas for high schools in Corpus Christi.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I'm talking about is this notification apps, notify apps that they have out there. And it's AI literally taking just a school photo of someone in school and just taking innocent school photo and turning it into something that looks real. And now this student comes across as looking like promiscuous, you
Right.
know and it's being spread out, and that all leads to something that we never want to see our kids go through, which is the bullying. And we all know what bullying, cyberbullying, can lead to.
Hmm.
That can lead to some extreme stuff that we don't want to face or want to see our kids go through, right?
Hmm.
So you're right, because the human, I like to think of it this way. I like to say that the humans are it's the easiest technology to ever hack. You know,
Absolutely.
humans are one of the easiest things to hack, to where it is just like, um, and I think they're just not aware of what people are trying to do to them. We
Exactly.
have this trust about people
Hmm.
that sometimes we have to start realizing, hey, look, I am a target. My kids are a target.
Hmm.
And we have to learn to put up a shield a little bit, not to be like disrespectful or something, but we got to learn to start really observing things, for the betterment of ourselves and our families.
You're absolutely right. We really do, and it definitely boils down to the human part of it. As we've talked before, hackers look for the low-hanging fruit, whereas it's hacking the human person position of a corporation, let's say the CFO, that's surrounded by a firewall within an organization. If they can hack their children, that would be the stepping stone. They can make that lateral move. We talk about lateral moves all the time, how hackers will look for the least point of resistance within an organization, like water going down a hill, that find that crack, and that's where they can go in and make their attack. And unfortunately, it's with the children. Look, you mentioned roadblocks. Let's talk about that for a minute, because I'm hearing a lot of talk on the news about roadblocks and how this software application that kids are utilizing for communication and playing avatars and corresponding back and forth with each other. But they don't understand that hackers can do a simple man in the middle attack and listen to all the conversations going on between the two children, and just listen for information related to their parents when the parents won't be home, or when the parents are leaving home, where the parents maybe work, and before they can make their attacks. And uh, it's one of the jobs I see us doing is really educating parents on the negativeness of roadblocks and apps like that, and what they can do to prevent themselves. What can you add to that as well?
Yeah, I always, my kids, I remember a long time ago wanting to play on Roblox, and I was just totally against it because I didn't know who they were talking to.
Hmm.
And especially now, the thing about it is we have AI, so a predator can be on there using a voice, disguising them as a kid,
Right.
and having these kids talk to them and say, "Yo, yeah, what school do you go to? Oh, yeah, I go to this school too, so and so," and befriending them. And next thing you know, it leads to something, um, something bad, right?
Yeah. In our field, we call that reconnaissance, right?
Yes,
Any reconnaissance on the kids.
reconnaissance and everything else. And, you know, I'm not against roadblocks. I'm more for parents talking with their kids about it. You know, if your kids want to be on roadblocks, I'm a big advocate of the family or the parent understanding what is roadblocks. It
Hmm.
is your duty to understand and research roadblocks. You know,
Exactly.
I am a prime example of my kids. Every last one of them in my house, they have their own Xbox um, in their rooms, right? And the
Hmm.
one thing I always said was, don't go online, you know, until I've researched and understand what this is all about. And I want to know who you're talking with, who's your friend groups on there. Um, you know, you can't get on there with someone you don't know. Um, that's all that goes into it because ultimately, who's responsible for the kid? The
Right.
parent,
The
right?
parent.
If I was to ask a parent, hey, are you going to go out? Would you actually walk into a dealership off the rip to buy a car? Would you just walk on the car dealership and just say, yeah, I want this car and buy it? No. If I told you, hey, are you going to go buy a house? You're just going to just, hey, yeah, I like this house. I'm going to buy it. Are you just going to buy it? You're going to say no. Because
Right.
why? You need to research. You need to research what type of car is good for you. You know, if you're going to move into a new house, what are you going to do? You're going to research. Hey, what's the good neighborhood? What's a good
Hmm.
school district? You do all the research for stuff like that. Well, guess what? Where we're at right now when it comes to your kids and your kids being involved with cyber. You have to research everything, their
Everything.
phones, everything. Get them a phone. I'm a big proponent of that. Get your kids a phone. But at the same time, y'all need to sit down together and understand the phone together. Teach
Hmm.
them the safeties of the phone and whatnot. Another thing I'll add to that, when I
Hmm.
think of roadblocks and stuff like that, it's no different than I'm just perplexed in my mind when I see kids who have social media, right? My kids
Yes.
have social media.
Hmm.
But guess what, Mac? I have access to every last one of their social media accounts because
Right.
why? We had a conversation. You
Hmm.
know, we sat down and I said, okay, do you want Instagram? Well, to get Instagram, I need to have access to it as well. And you can do whatever you want, you know, not whatever you want, but you know, like
Sure.
that way. And you know what my kids said? Okay, cool.
Hmm.
You know, because we have an open discussion about this. And this is what we're trying to do at Operation Positive Vibes, right? With
Hmm.
OPV Cyber, right? We're
Yes.
trying to educate parents on these things in the communities, right? Because nobody want their kid, no parent want their kid to be upset with them because they can't be on social media or play, you know, Roblox and all that.
Hmm.
What we're trying to do is to get them together to understand, hey, this is your responsibility.
Hmm.
Research. Let's pull out all and show them all the resources that are out there that
Hmm.
can help you and your kid come together when it comes to cybersecurity
Hmm.
and dealing with anything cyber. Because the answer is not just taking their phone away from them. You know,
Correct. That's right.
it's not going to work because guess who they're going to learn from, Mac? They're going to learn from some knuckleheads in school.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
teach them, you learn it. And that's what I always tell, you know, I go to around churches around Houston all the time and they want me to talk
Yes.
about social media with the kids. I'm like, well, first of all, what do you know about social media? Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know that much about it. Well, if you don't know that much about it, then don't let your kids get on there.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the
You,
best way.
yeah, if you want your kids to get on there, guess what? Learn about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's driving a car. It's driving a car. Guess what I had to do? I had to teach my kids how to drive. Same
That's
thing.
right. You mentioned a church out in Houston. Tell us about how you're showing the churches out there about cybersecurity and no, being responsible online.
Yeah, so it's so funny because when I do it all around at these churches, they're thinking that I'm going there to talk to the kids, which I do. It's
Sure.
aimed at the kids, but in the end, they felt like, wow, it felt like you were actually teaching us. I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, I was, because there's no sense in me teaching the child who lives under your roof how to do
Hmm.
these things, and you don't know how to do them.
Right.
That that's oil and water. They don't jive. Everybody in the household, if you want to be safe, your tribe have to know. Everyone has to know how to do it. You know.
Exactly.
So I go around teaching both, telling the parents, listen, um, let's listen to the kids.
Hmm.
Understand, hey, why do you want social media? Yeah, well, your friends are on it. I get it. It's a new communication platform.
Right.
Okay. Well, now parents, what can you do um, to bridge that gap
Hmm.
with you and your kids? One is to learn Instagram or whatever they want to get on,
Exactly.
because guess what? Peer pressure is for real, man. I don't know if people understand that, but peer
Yeah,
pressure is serious, man.
it
I
is.
went
It
through
is.
peer pressure in school,
Absolutely.
and
Here too.
everything else. And I remember my son coming to me and said, "Yeah, Dad, they got burner phones, and this is middle school. They got burner phones, and they're showing me their Instagram and their TikTok and their what was the other one that was like all the rage where they'll put a video out there in 24 hours it's gone.
Oh yeah.
Snap.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. It's like, yeah. So I'm like, they got burner phones? He was like, yeah, Dad.
Oh
They got a
yeah.
lot of burner phones,
And
right?
those phones are free because the
Yeah,
government issues those phones.
yeah. And I remember my son coming back. He's like, Dad, is it okay if I go to this website? It's all my friends are there, man. They said it's cool. And I want to know, and he's on my computer. It's like, I want to know, can I go to this website? And the website was called like whitehouse.com or something. I'm like, bro, I'm like,
No.
no. He's like, what, Dad? Like, what's wrong with it? I'm like,
Right.
and you know what I had to do? I had to bring him in, sit him down, and I pulled it up and I said, this is not cool, man.
Right.
These things are not cool. So had I not taught him that,
Hmm.
and all my kids, and you know what? I took my kids to Stop Think Connect,
Oh,
and
good.
I made them go through everything before I gave them uh, f- like full outright smartphones in their hands
Hmm.
and that they can carry with them. And teachable moments, man. You got to always have those with your kids when it comes to cyber, because I tell parents this all the time.
Hmm.
I've done this my whole life. And right now I'm 54. There's so much to cyber I can't even fathom or understand. Right now it's so complex.
Yes.
Only jobs I've ever had dealt with cybersecurity,
Hmm.
and it's difficult for me. Well, imagine what it is for your kids.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it changes all the time.
Mac, say it one more time for me.
It changes all the time. Every
So
day
if
there's
it's
something.
So if it's changing all the time, this is why it's important for parents to constantly have this cyber dialogue with their
Hmm.
kids.
Hmm.
And that's what we do at OPV Cyber. We created a whole suite, as you know,
Yes.
of everything how to protect your kids, trainings for families, for teachers, for students, everything. And now, which I have to send to you so you can look at, is now the whole AI thing.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
How now creating a curriculum for just that alone to say, hey, look, AI, as great as it is, AI is a dangerous thing.
Oh, it
Um,
is very much so. By the way, have you checked out the latest version of Chat GPT, the voice Chat
yeah,
GPT? You
yeah,
could have interactive conversations with this AI bot, just like you're sitting talking to a person, and there's no delays. That's been the big issue with these learning models is there's a big delay. Now you can interrupt it, that they interrupt you, you have a conversation back.
yeah. I was just having a conversation with Claude, and I was like, just playing around with it, and we were back
Yeah.
and forth. Matter of fact, I was creating, finishing up on a curriculum called defense wealth
Mm,
defense. I'm sorry, on how to protect people's retirements and stuff like that. And
yes.
I was talking and we were back and forth, like you said, like a regular conversation, and there was no delay or whatnot. It would interrupt me. I would interrupt it. Uh,
Yes.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and it transcribes a conversation. So at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the meeting, yeah, the things right now that are going on with chat is amazing. Now, so that's the new predator, if you would, because now these bots are becoming criminals. There's stories of AI bots are now doing crime, creating crimes. So
Mm-hmm.
now you have the humans trying to manipulate the children and adults. Now we have these rogue AI learning models that are doing the same thing. So that's why it's so important that we meaning our society, stay educated and what's going on when it comes to cyber and awareness.
Yeah, they need to, especially when we start talking about the kids, because we know
Mhm.
cyberbullying. That's the one. Um,
Absolutely.
you have talked extensively about sextortion.
Yes.
That is and along with that is that Notify app that goes hand in hand with those.
Hmm.
Now another thing which has always been around, but now they're using AI to harvest identity from kids to produce loans, like stolen loans, credit and stuff. And kids
Yes.
don't realize this until they get ready to go to college and they try to get a
Right.
student loan and they're like, hey, no, your credit's
Yes.
bad. Like
You're
you have
right.
a loan out. And they're like, what? No, I don't. I'm 18. I've never had this. And they've had these loans sitting in their name for like 15 to 16 years old.
That's right.
And I was reading about that AI, they're having these bots going out and harvesting all of this information because think about it, man.
Hmm.
What 16 to 17-year-old know that's an easy target. Nobody
Absolutely.
knows about their credit. Their credit is wide open. And
Yes.
how do they check? How do their credit even being checked? It
That's
got to
right.
the point, Mac, I'm not kidding you. I had to literally a few years ago get credit monitoring just for my kids because I'd read
Absolutely.
about this and I'm like, So I had credit monitoring still to this day for my three kids, and one's 21, the other one's just turned 19 and 16, and they've had it for like a few years now because for that simple fact that they're sitting ducks.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Duval. Let's give the audience out there a cyber tip for that, folks. If you haven't already done this, contact the three credit reporting agencies. Right, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Contact them. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and freeze your Social Security number. You can freeze it. That means that if your Social Security number is stolen, the merchant will test your Social Security number for they or the bad guys try to get credit in your name, and if it's frozen, it won't be allowed. And also, you won't be able to get it either. So, what you need to do if you wish to have a loan process, make sure that you would in turn unfreeze your credit. That would be the best way to do it.
Right. And that's very important because, as I said before, I've had someone open up a bank account in my name and funneled money out of the country, and it was a lot of money. Um, and I did get an alert that this was taking place, and good
Hmm.
thing I did have all of these alerts and everything else. And I've had alerts saying that people are trying to open credit cards in my name and everything else. And here
Yeah,
it is. I'm thinking like I have spent my whole life in cybersecurity, and you always think, and we're cybersecurity professionals,
right,
right? And we're
right.
telling you it's happening to us,
Yeah,
and we do this
yeah.
for a living. So
Hmm.
guess what? I mean, this is why it's important,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
is very, very important. And also, it's important that the parents also take that to the next level of getting their kids' Social Security numbers also frozen with the three credit reporting agencies. Their spouse, whoever lives in their house. And if the audience would do that, that would be a great step in protecting your identity and lowering your digital footprint online as well.
Oh my goodness, yes, that's a big thing. Your open source intelligence, man. You have to, people
Yes.
need to pay attention to that. And again, when I
Hmm.
said that predators are getting through the parents to the
Hmm.
kids,
Hmm.
I can tell you exactly what predators are doing. They're going on social media, they're seeing families, they're looking at on Facebook or Instagram, and they see, and I cannot get this for the life of me. They're seeing families, whether it's the mom or the dad, posting pictures of the
Yes,
kids, and they could be all together. It could be a Christmas picture, an Easter
sure.
picture, whatever, vacation picture. And you know
Right.
what predators are? Predators are predators, man.
That's right.
We already know about the big, pedophile thing that's going on, right? We
Hmm.
already know about that. They're real people that are. I mean, this is for real.
Oh
People
yeah.
are looking in their areas and seeing, oh wow, this is somebody right down the street from me. Oh, I didn't know they had kids.
Hmm.
A young girl, young boy, you
Hmm.
know. And another thing too. Did you know in that sextortion that you got me like really researching and diving into? You know that the main target in those sextortions are young boys? I didn't even
Absolutely.
know that.
Yep. They have the highest suicide rate too.
Highest.
Yes.
And I was
Absolutely.
reading some more and it kept going like
Hmm.
they're finding them through parents, you
Yes.
know, through social media. And I'm like, wow. And so this is why OPV Cyber, we trying to train people. Listen, it's okay to have social media. It's okay to post or whatnot, but let's be safe about it. Let's learn to
Absolutely.
lock. Let's learn to lock down our information so only the right people can see it. And I tell people this all the time, and you teach it, I teach it. It's called the CIA triad:
That's right.
confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
Hmm.
That's in everyone's life,
Hmm.
every social media life. You need to ask yourself, if I post this, Mac, who have access to see it? Does the whole world have access or only my friends or the people? That's the
Right.
confidentiality part.
Hmm.
Two, hey, can somebody come into my account? Do I have two-factor authentication on all of my social media, on all of my
Hmm.
accounts so that nobody can come in and alter my information or steal my photos or whatnot, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So, I mean, these are the things, man, we are trying to get people on board with
Hmm.
and families on board with because that's I really am invested, as is you and our whole team, with protecting our youth. It's important. We have to.
Absolutely. And we're definitely working hard towards that. To make sure we have that. Especially again, back to the AI stuff. AI now involved in finances as well. They're going to put accountants and CPAs out of work because they're actually are processing your own finances can be done and your taxes and bookkeeping now done with AI. So we're expecting a lot of interesting things happening in the future with AI
Oh yeah. And then
for sure.
I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you I love AI,
Yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
everyone has to know the risks behind
When
it.
done the right way, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very good tool done the right
And
way.
I would encourage everybody to learn AI and
Hmm.
not just AI technology because
Hmm.
you know as well as I do, this is probably a whole different podcast conversation that we can have just on how technology is replacing jobs.
Yes,
And
and that's something we will definitely talk about in the future too on these podcasts as well,
yeah,
on how AI is affecting jobs as well. Hey, Deval, I want to thank you for being a part of this. Let's do this again. Let's do this on a consistent basis. Have you on the show, man. Let's talk about this sort of thing.
anytime you want, man. I mean, you are part of the OPV Cyber
Yes,
team, man.
PV Cyber,
So
absolutely.
yeah, and for all y'all don't know, go to opvcyber.com and see all of the great work we have going on, which is amazing. You can see our team on there. We have an amazing team who's developing a um, mobile cyber warfare range.
Yes, mobile cyber warfare range.
Tongue twister. Yeah,
Yeah,
that we're developing and that we're close to launching it.
yes,
And all the great things that we're doing, with Mac doing, cyber assessments, being able to do, we're just a one-stop shop, put it like that.
absolutely.
Our
Very
job
excited
is
about this.
protection. Yeah.
Yeah, very
So,
excited working with you, Val, and all of a team of ethical hackers we have working with us. We're going to have a really dynamic company to help our
Oh, yeah.
nation, help the U.S. So, folks, definitely stay tuned with us and keep in touch with us as well. And with myself, Dr. Mac Jackson Jr. and Deval Clay. And we'll have future shows like this talking about cyber tips that you could use today to protect yourself from the fastest growing crimes of the 21st century. Deval, thank you again for joining us and look forward to having you again on the show.
All right. Thank you, Mac.
All right. Take care.